Hello and welcome to Horse Racing Tips for Sunday, the 10th of March 2024. And the meeting that we're going to start with today, and I've gone through already at such an early stage, is Southwell. This is a twilight stroke evening card that begins at 4:50 and has an 8 race card all the way through till 8:30 in the evening. There we go, and there's the last race. So we're going to come back to the 4:50. Time at the moment is 8:51 in the morning. So after we've been through all of this, I will then upload it to YouTube. So we've got the proof on there that all this was done above board. Right. So into our Excel spreadsheet. Remember, we do Dutching, and the profits have been good this week if you watch the other video that I posted this morning. Now, everything here is in our ratings order, and our top selection for the 450 will be Grant Wood. So we'll go across to our Betfair page, remembering, like I tell you every day, do not bet at this over round price of 114.3. Wait till you get closer to the off, because it can affect the selections that you do. Right, so at the moment, Grant Wood shows at 5.5 on Betfair, and it means that our stakes would be £18.18 to return £100. Now remember that the maximum stake that you can lay out in this race or any race will be £50, because you want to win £50 to get your 100 back. So our second selection is Thunder Roar. Now Thunder Roar is trading at 20. So 20 means that our stakes there would be £5 to return 100 at the SP of 20. Our third selection is How Impressive, and that at this stage is 4.6, and that is favourite. So we come into this and go 4.6. Now, stakes, as you can see there, are £21.74, which returns 100. Now, backing all those three so far means we've laid out £44.92. So even if the next selection tells us more than £5.08, that's the maximum that we can lay out. So Rock Opera is trading at 13, and you can see it would have been £7.69, but we've only got £5.08 left in the kitty for this race, and there you go. There's your stakes of £50. So running through the selections, don't forget you could end up putting more on Rock Opera, may even go down to the next selection, just because of the over round prices of 114% should open up at least another 12%. So we could have more money for the next selection down, or they may hammer one of these that are already first and second favourites, and maybe you won't even be able to do the fourth one. But this is just an estimate that I'm showing you. So our selections: Grant Wood, £18.18 at 5.5 would return you £100. Thunder Roar, £5 stake at 20 SP would return us £100, and £21.74 at an SP of 4.6 for How Impressive would also return us £100. So we got three running for us. And then when we look at our fourth selection, Rock Opera, the Betfair SP at the moment is 13. Times that by £5.08, which you couldn't have any more on it, means you can get back £66 for for your 50 layout. So there will be a slight profit on that, but it won't be a loss. So that's the first race at Southwell, the 450. Moving into our second race there, we've got Bravo Zulu as our top rated. So yet again, we come back to Betfair. We change the time here to the 17:25, and at the moment Bravo Zulu is a short priced favourite of 2.42, or just a bit better than 11 to 8. Our stake would be £41.32, which means off of £50 we've only got £8.68 to put on our second selection, regardless of the price. So African Spirit 4.1 on the drift. Yep, and that wanted £24.39, so we know we can only put £8.68 on this one. So easy to work this out now. If Bravo Zulu wins, we return £100, and if African Spirit was to win, it's 4.1 SP at the moment, times our £8.68 would return us £35. So that 35 would show us a small loss of 15, but it wouldn't be the end of the world there. So that's the second race at Southwell, the 525. Moving into the third race, back to a handicap now, £7,851 to the winner. And our top selection is Mulciber. So let's go to Southwell and click on the 6 o'clock. And our top selection, as I say, is Mulciber, and that's trading at the moment at 8.2. This is awful. 126.5 over round. Don't get involved with this at all. The market is very, very weak this morning and will be until closer to the off. So if we did do 8.2 here, it would tell us that we need to lay out £12.20 to return 100. So the second selection is Good Morning Alex, which is trading at 7.8. And this time we would need £12.82 staked to return us £100. Our third selection is Due Consideration. This at the moment is 7.4. And we would need stakes of £13.51 to return us £100. And our fourth selection is Body Parts. Now, Body Parts, what a name for a horse there. 23, the price at the moment, and the stakes would be £4.35 to return 100. And so far, our stakes are £42.88. Now we're going to come down to Prince Eric as our fifth selection. This at the moment showing 11 to 10. And it wants us to have £47.62. Well, we know we can't have anywhere near that, and it's only going to be £7.12. We cancel all the others, and it means there's the stakes of £50. But with 126 over round, you're talking 25% of your stakes that are wrapped up with the people that are laying these prices. So don't go anywhere near backing anything. So if you imagine that we still had 25%, that would have been another £12.50 on our favourite there. That would have given us £20 at evens. All right, it would have got us £40 back, but we've only laid out 50. So yes, we would have been £10 down, but we'd have had the top four here running for us, as in Mulciber, Good Morning Alex, Due Consideration, and Body Parts. So that is race 3. Race 4 is another handicap, this time worth £13,870 to Winning Connections. And the 6:30, we'll just change that in Betfair. There we go. And our top selection is Radio Goo Goo. Well, at the moment it's trading the second favourite, and that is 4. And stakes of £25 will return you 100. But again, the over round price 113.5. Don't go near that till the race time gets closer, or it gets down to about 101, 102. And our second selection is Just a Spark, which is the favourite at 305. And again, you would need £32.79 on it, but we've already put 25 in the first selection, so the maximum we can have is £25. So if Radio Goo Goo was to win, you would return £100 for a 25 stake at an SP of 4. And if Just a Spark was to win, your SP would be 305 times that £25 would return you 76, but you've only staked out 50, so you still would get a profit on Just a Spark. Now, remembering if you're betting with Betfair, Matchbook, or Smarkets, or any other exchanges, they will charge you a fee on profit only. So if Just the Spark was to win this race, your profit there would have been £26. But like most of these exchanges, they will charge around 5%. You may get a deal with other bookmakers when you look round at certain periods, but you would lose £1.30 in fees off of your £26 profit, but it would have nothing to do with your stake. So that is the 6:30, and that was race 4. As we go into race 5, another handicap here worth £9,421 to Winning Connections, and we'll click on to the 7 o'clock in Betfair. And back to the spreadsheet, we've got King of York as our favourite. At the moment, it's trading second favourite at 5.9. Again, our stake there would be £16.95 to return £100. And the over round here is the worst one we've seen so far of 127.5. So when you think people have staked £1,240 here, and they're another £2, doesn't make sense whatsoever. Right, so our second selection, Soames Foresight. Soames Foresight trading at 6.8. Now 6.8 is a stake of £14.71 to return £100. Then our third selection, which is Cephalus. Sounds like something like a disease from all them years ago. Well, that's syphilis, I think. Right, Cephalus is the favourite at 4.3. So stakes required there of £23.26, but after our first 2 bets, we only have £18.34 left. So that would be our maximum stake on our third selection. But because there's an over round of 27%, it does mean that we would most probably have here around £13 or £14 more to spend than we have on them first 3. We most probably would be able to also bet Valentinka. But in this case, we're just doing it for information purposes. If King of York was to win, you would have staked £16.95 at 5.9 SP to return £100. Soames Foresight, £14.71 stakes, and a SP of 6.8 would return £100. And going into our last selection there, Cephalus, 4.3 SP times your £18.34 stakes would return you £78. So again, still would be a £28 profit for those three. But as I say, with a 27% over round for the bookmakers at the moment, you could basically back the full force down Valentinka, but there's a long way to go before that gets to off. Into race 6. This is the £7:30. This is another handicap, £7,851 for winning connections. And our top selection here is Fantasy Navigator. So again, change the time there. Now Fantasy Navigator is showing at 17 at the moment. And 17 requires £5.88 to return £100. Now, again, with the over round here, just jump in there to 123. Don't go near anywhere on Betfair to bet this morning at Southwell. Stoic Sid is our second selection, which at the moment is the market leader at 3.2, which is just under 9 to 4. Stakes of £31.25 at 3.2 would return you £100. And now we've staked 37.13, leaving 12.87 for our maximum stake on Anna Emirati. Now, Anna Emirati is the third favourite, trading at 5.1. And you can see that we needed to put £19.61 on this horse. But as there's only £12.87 in the kitty, that would be our maximum stake. And again, when you're looking at £23 over round, you're looking at about another £11 to £12 that we could have staked, and most probably would have brought us down to Cubanista. But again, information purposes only. Fantasy Navigator, £5.88 stakes at 17 SP returns £100, and Stoic Sid, £31.25 stake at 3.2 SP returns 100. And then our third selection, which you can see there, Anna Emirati, 5.1 SP times the £12.87 that you had left, gives you £65 returns, which again is a slight profit on the 50 that you've laid out, but you do have two full horses running for you of Fantasy Navigator and Stoic Sid. Moving into race 7, the penultimate race. This is the 8 o'clock, another handicap, £7,851 to winning connections. And our top selection, which we had, I don't think it was yesterday or the day before, is Big Nasty. So let's click on the 8 o'clock. Now, Big Nasty at the moment is trading as favourite. 105.9 at this time of the day is quite good. I still wouldn't be betting on that, but as far as we've seen this morning, it's the best so far, even though it's now jumped to 107.5. Right, so Big Nasty, favourite, 3.8 stakes, £26.32 would return £100. Then our second selection here at the track is the second favourite at 4.4, and that would require a stake of £22.73 to return 100. We've now staked £49.04, so the maximum stake that we would be having in the last selection would be 96 pence to win. And this horse is Higher Law. And Higher Law is trading at 15 at the moment, and that would be your last selection. But again, we are 7% over round too much. It would give us a little bit more, but not a lot. So maybe about another £2 or £3, which would help to get our money back for Higher Law, on the £50 that we staked. So Big Nasty, £26.32 at an SP of 3.8 will return £100. And here at the track, 22.73 stakes, £22.73 at an SP of 4.4 would also return £100. And as it stands at the moment, 96 pence at an SP of 15 would return you £14, so it would be better than losing a straight 50. And that is the 7th race. Now the finale, final race, 8:30, 14 go to post, and a handicap again, and this time £14,655 to Winning Connections. And our top selection here is And the Leap. So back into Betfair for the final time now. And before we start doing anything, an over round price of 22.5%, so don't get excited and start putting bets on for this. Now, Anderlecht at the moment is trading at 17, so this means a stake of £5.88 will return you £100. Our second selection is Sky Breeze, which is joint or co-favourite, if you like, around 5-1. This is trading at 5.9. Stakes required of £16.95 would return 100. Artesian Dancer is our third selection, which is one of the other co-favourites at 5.9, so it would require the same stake. And Queen of Ipanema is trading at 18.5 and would require a stake of £5.41 to return 100. So far we've laid out £45.19, £4.81 left in the kitty, and Knowlton Cross is the other co-favourite. This one's showing at 6. So we know we can't have £16.67 on, so we've got to do £4.81. So £4.81, but don't forget again, 22% over round could increase that by £10. So you could actually get a profit on Knowlton Cross. So just going back over this again, And a Leap, £5.88 at 17 SP would return you £100. £16.95 stakes and an SP of 5.9 for Sky Breeze would return you £100, and that would be exactly the same for Artesian Dancer, £16.95 stake with a 5.9 SP, and Queen of Ipanema, £5.41 at an SP of 18.5 would return you £100. And when we look at Knowlton Cross at the moment, we would have an SP of 6 times the £4.81 would return £28, so you wouldn't have such a bad loss if that comes in. But of course, 22% over round means that we'd most probably have another tenner in the kitty, and would most probably there be okay to even get up to £100 back, maybe if we're lucky. So 4 running for us plus Knowlton Cross, and that is the whole of the card done. That's all 8 races. So just quick recap. You can see these stakes and bets on the right hand side. Grant Wood, Thunder Roar, how impressive, and small stakes on Rock Opera. That's the first race at Southwell, the 450. The 525, you've got Bravo Zulu and small stakes on African Spirit. Then into the 6 o'clock, you've got Mulciber, Good Morning Alex, Due Consideration, Body Parts, and small stakes on Prince Eric. The 6:30, Radio Goo Goo and smaller stakes on Just a Spark. 7 o'clock, King of York and Soames Forsyth and Cephalus at small stakes. And in the 7:30, Fantasy Navigator, Stoic Sid and small stakes on Anna Emirati. The 8 o'clock, Big Nasty and Here at the Track and small stakes on the Higher Law. And the last race, And the Leap, this is the 8:30, And the Leap, Sky Breeze, Artisan Dancer, Queen of Ipanema and small stakes on Knowlton Cross. And don't forget, do not bet at these high over rounds. Rather look at these prices and everything, but about 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the off, where you will get 101, 102. So other than that, have a good day's racing, find plenty of winners, and we'll be back very soon, and I will do another show with the results after. Thanks for watching.